Hi Shiny Lights. Today's video is some great tips and a little bit of a hilarious story about how I found a spiritual teacher and one that I actually had to chuck away. So if you're a spiritual newbie, if you're busting to find someone to teach you all the things, to learn about your spirit guides, to understand auras, to see auras even, and you're just so hungry for the right teacher, and then you meet someone and it's like, not really sure about them. Please trust your warning bells. Because I was looking for a spiritual teacher once. I was open and new, and I found this guy, and he had a fantastic following on Facebook and all these adoring fans, and yet something in my tummy, something in my gut was just going, danger. And I just couldn't work out what it was. And the more I listened to him, the more I saw that the words didn't match the actions. And he had fancy words and fancy symbols, and he just seemed to dazzle all his followers, but somehow it just wasn't ringing true to me. And I'd already had a brush with a cult before, right? And if you follow my blog, you'll know what that is. And I didn't want to make the same mistake again. And he'd get really angry if anyone questioned him, and he'd chuck these major tantrums. So it got to be this kind of thing where I thought, oh, I better not say anything, even though my gut, my intuition was going, get out of here. And then there was the pole shift. He said his guides or whoever he talked to had told him that there was going to be a shift in the Earth's poles and that where he lived was going to be underwater soon. So he was busy moving inland, and it created such a flurry in this small community that I was in. Everyone was full of fear. My God, am I going to be drowned? And everyone was packing up. And of course, guess what? The pole shift never happened. So I asked around. I talked to a few friends that I trusted that were also intuitive, and I said, look, what do you make of this guy? And they all came back and said, yep, creepy. And it wasn't that he was a bad guy, it was just that his spiritual growth didn't quite match his personal growth. There was still a lot of power and control and ego and stuff mixed up with all this spiritual stuff that cobbled together. And somehow or other, the talk didn't match the walk. So thank goodness I left that pretty quickly. But I learned some great things about this. With a spiritual teacher, we are hungry and we are incredibly open. We're usually new and we want to believe, we want to be guided. And what happens is we hand our power over. And the openness was actually a beautiful gift. My vulnerability actually helped me become discerning, and it helped me step back and just watch for a while. So if you're looking at a spiritual teacher and wondering, shall I do this? Or maybe a course, or maybe someone you want to follow, turn down the volume on what they say and watch what they do. Check to see if the talk matches the walk. And if it does, you've got someone who's lovely and congruent, who matches up what they do and what they say, and they're probably a nice person too. So follow them. Go with your gut is the second tip. Listen to that word. You are psychic, you are intuitive. Even if you're a newbie, don't give your power away. Trust that gut, because that will tell you 9 times out of 10. And the 10th time is check with your friends. See what they say. And from that teacher, I learned another great lesson, is that the power should be shared. If that person is just saying they alone have the only connection to that higher power, that higher intelligence, and you don't, walk away. A teacher should share that connection, should show you and empower you how you can make your own connection to the divine without forking over thousands of dollars. So in the end, this guy taught me a great deal, because I learned not to give my power away to anyone who doesn't also share their power with me. And the truth is, you are a powerful being. You are powerful already. You are already psychic. And a great teacher will help you tap into that, will help you connect to that, so you can unleash it for yourself and not have to depend on anybody else. So I hope that helps you decide on your next spiritual or psychic teacher, one that keeps the power with you and shares it openly, who loves questions, welcomes challenges, and is very congruent. Their walk matches their talk. Hope that helps. Ciao. It's okay to stalk someone. That's Bruce. And always when I start videoing.